Hey viewers, welcome to another game of the CasualProGamer. Today we are doing another StarCraft 2 game of the match between IMProtoss in the bottom right corner as the Protoss player and MillTVSTAFF as the Terran in the top left corner. So we've seen two games of this match already, and yeah, if you haven't seen them, I'm not going to spoil the results, but you should really watch them because I tend to kind of compare their strategies with previous games. So if you haven't watched them already and you still want to watch them, then go watch them now. Now that you still have time. And otherwise, yeah, if you don't care, then I don't care. So that's all good. Anyhow, we see the first supply depot going down and indicating a wall off over here. And the first pylon says that we're not going to fast expand. Yeah, he tried to fast expand last time. It was an interesting strategy, and yeah, I've not really seen that before against a Terran player. I mean, against Zerg players, yeah, you see that all the time, but against a Terran player, you don't normally see that. I'm not sure why. Probably not really worth it. Probably a thing that's just hard to pull off, and yeah, we'll just have to see how it works out if he doesn't fast expand. So the gateway going down, a simulator going up, and that means that he's going for that normal cybernetic score into warp gates, and of course build some extra gateways by then. But yeah, well, we'll have to see how that works out. So yeah, a little bit too many hit points on this to take down with a probe, but it should be okay. Oh wow, it's actually not... Yeah, it's gaining hit points, of course, but it's actually not really high health. He's going to have to repair that at some point. See, it's only at 300 health. It's not a whole lot. So the probe doing some significant damage to that supply depot, but he's not going to get in, so he is going to run away. And since this is a two-player map, the opponent already knows where he is, so he can just run back to his base and be safe there. So the expansion goes up, and that means that he is going to have to defend both of them. But since they this main base only has one entrance, as you can see, it's not a really big deal. It's just this ramp, which then becomes with no entrance here except for this this one. It only has one entrance, so you're going for from this ramp to this ramp, which is not a big deal to defend. It's just that you get the destructible rocks there, which is a secondary entrance to your base, and if you destroy that and expand over here, you get, instead of this entrance, you get a much larger entrance over here. And that's not even a choke point anymore, that's just open map. So yeah, you can see how that works. This is a very well designed map in my opinion, because of those kind of subtle things. So you go from a small ramp to a little bit bigger ramp with a potential secondary ramp, and then if you sacrifice this, then you go to a much larger area, and then of course after that this base has a full open area with this ramp as well. This ramp is very big, this ramp is very big. So the further you expand, the more difficult the more difficulties you will have defending your base. And that's a very nice design aspect in my opinion. Of course, it makes it hard for players that are aggressive expanders to hold their base, but that's exactly what you should learn if you play these maps. You should be able to adapt your strategy to the map you're playing, and that's what we see from the good players. Wow, building a whole bunch of these small buildings, 2 bunkers, supply depot, probably going to put in some stuff in between if he's really afraid of the enemy coming in. But with this supply depot he still can move out, because you can lower the supply depot and just create an entrance there. I'm not sure whether he's going to build something in between. Yes, he is. There you go, another supply depot. And that means that the Protoss player cannot just rush in. He's going to have to destroy at least one of those buildings before getting in, and that of course is hard to do. So it seems that yeah, we're just building up as the Protoss. No real army yet. He has 1 Stalker and 4 sentries and 2 Zealots. But the Stalkers are the main army. The Zealots are just there because they're cheap and easy to build. And the sentries are the ones that are for early game defense, because you can wall off this ramp with 1 force field or this one with 2 force fields and just be safe. There's no way to destroy them in the early game. In the later game, of course, you have some units that can actually stomp on them and just kill them. So salvaging 2 of the bunkers because there was nobody coming in. The Protoss player really just sitting back and yeah, just chilling a little. Doesn't really care. And the new command center is going up over there. He already built it. It's already an orbital command, because orbital commands already give you extra income. So that's why he already built it over here, and still not well before he wanted to expand, and still doesn't lose income because of that, or even power. Lots of barracks going up now, and he is going for kind of combined strategy here. Well, 2 reactors means he's going to build a lot of marines, but if he was going to stick to marines, he didn't need 4 extra barracks. So these are going to be 4 marauders, I have to feel, and at least some of them. So we're going to get a nice mixed army, which should work out really well against a combined, or well, a mixed army from the Protoss player. Because against the Stalkers you want those marauders, against the Zealots you want the marines, and maybe a marauder, and against the sentries it really doesn't matter, because yeah, they have very little hit points. It's just yeah, it's a control unit, so it's a utility unit. And yeah, there's the Terran army coming in with some dropships, or no, medevacs. And wow, going to lose his first 2 units, and losing a marine isn't that bad, but losing a marauder is pretty bad. And let's see. Yeah, so as you can see, the Colossi being produced, and his first Colossus already up, and it's going to get that extended thermal lens, which means more range. Currently the range is 6, it's going to be 9, I believe. And yeah, it's going to just do tons of damage to those poor little marines. And well, that's what they're for. They're expendable, man. So yeah, the pylon goes down over here, and that means that he can now warp in units really close to where he's fighting. And he is of course going to build multiple pylons, because that's what we always see. So 2 of these big colossi out now, and immediately sniping that supply depot, because it was there, not because he needed to or wanted to. It was just there. Doesn't really matter for the rest. So a few SCVs go down, 3 of them, and the command center, which is way more costly, it goes down as well. And because it was an orbital command, it's even more expensive. So yeah, we're just chilling here now outside of the base. Lots of marauders in these. Actually has 4 marauders and 4 marines in the bunkers, and that means he's really going for that snipe. This is kind of cute. The missile turret is just here to shoot at these colossi, and oh, he's going to blink up on this ramp and going to do some damage there. But the blink, yeah, it takes a while to get off cooldown, but he gets it off cooldown and actually saves almost all of his units. But he got to snipe 2 airplanes, two of the Vikings. And the Vikings, of course, are very dangerous against the Colossi because, well, they are the main weapon against the Colossus. Yeah, the Colossi are both air and ground units, so everyone can shoot at them, and that's what makes them so weak against these guys, so the Vikings. Because Vikings can only shoot air units, so they will automatically, in a fight, target the Colossus. And yeah, that means that you have less micro. Plus, they are awesome against flying units. They do 14 damage versus armored unit. And they're really cheap. These guys, of course, can't shoot them, but yeah, you can see the range is indeed 9 now. But yeah, you can see how that would work out really well. And is he really? Oh yeah, he had to reproduce all of his stalkers there. So he must have lost all of them. So he still had a large amount of zealots, as you can see, but the stalkers just all got sniped, or he withdrew them. Oh, losing one Colossus and actually two Colossi to just miss-microing. They were up on the high ground where the rest of his army was on the low ground, so the Vikings coming in from the right angle and actually getting a lot of things done. That was very nicely done. And a large army with a lot of marauders. The marauders get low though due to the stim packs, but they are going to do very well against this combination of units. And oh, he needs to walk in with the stalkers and focus those marauders one by one, because marauders do double damage, I believe, to or 2.5 times damage to twice the damage to the stalkers, and that is just a huge deal. And yeah, he's going to chase them now. He's going to chase after the Terran army, and most of the Terran army actually goes down, but he loses some units as well. And wow, that was just that was scary for both of them. Of course, all of these units are going to heal, and all of these shields are going to heal. So wow, going for the High Templar. We don't see a lot of High Templar, unfortunately, because they are really good, but it's just hard to use them correctly, because, well, they do a large amount of damage, but against, for example, Marines and Marauders, they just stim and run out of the range of that storm, and that makes them less effective. Plus, well, these guys are armored, so they take less damage. And we are going to drop on one side and then attack on the other side. I won't be able to see both fights at the same time, but I'm going to try to keep an eye on, well, both of them. And wow, this is going to go down really quickly, so all I need to focus on is this then. And there you see it, the storm's not very effective, actually taking out more of his own HP than the enemy's HP. And that is not going to be good. Has to fall back a little. The new army comes in, so the reinforcements coming in, they just sniped that dropship. Of course, he saw the loading of that dropship and he saw where it was going, so it was pretty easy to intercept after that. But wow, just so much damage. Oh, the dropships go down, or the medevacts go down, and they should all go down, even this last one. Yep, there we go. And just following in that Terran army until there are only Marauders left, and he's going to let the Marauders go, because the medevacts and the Marines, those are the units that he needs to snipe early on, because, well, when you have a group of those, that's just really dangerous, and he doesn't want to stray too far from his own base unless he gets a really big advantage out of that. So we have some Archons in the mix now. Archon's really beefy, 350 HP, compared to, for example, the 80 here, on the shields that is. And this one has 160 total, these ones have 360 total. So only 10 HP and the rest is shield. So yeah, sniping the shield is doesn't do a whole lot, unless you snipe it with an EMP blast from the ghosts Of course, then it would be very hard to deal with, and he needs to take out. Yeah, he needs to take out this. And finally gets in the base of the Terran player. The Terran player. Yeah, I didn't really pay attention to that, but oh wow, he needed to drop a lot of supplies, so didn't really keep up with building supply depots, and that means that he lost a lot of minerals there. But he only has one base fully mining. This base is fully mining as well. But yeah, well, I guess he didn't have an army anymore. I don't know why though. He has a lot of income. I mean, a huge income, and he has, well, great production facilities. So I don't know how he fell behind by this much. And he even has a pretty decent amount of money saved up. So yeah, probably just didn't have the capabilities to produce enough army in time. And anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG.